here we are at the reviewing area, and here we have Crankcase on the reviewing area. And as you can see, he turns into a nice
so like a SUV.
SUV van. And it's pretty good for what it is. I mean, it is kind of a boxy type SUV, but that is how the original G1 Crankcase was. Just has a lot of black with a little bit of blue, and has a nice Decepticon symbol on the hood here, and with some tealish paint to it. And he does have some translucent clear windows on both sides. Yes, here and here.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have a lot of sculpted in detail, but unfortunately they're not picked out in paint. So, some nice silver rim paints on the tires, except as you can tell here, the back ones are pinned in, but the front ones you can see are just clipped on, because you can see where it has that where it has that different detailed circle thing
in the rim.
In the rim, that means that these front ones are clipped on, whereas the back ones are pinned in, which I'm not too much of a fan of that.
Now, when I was looking at this, there's a couple of things that was different that I didn't know, but we'll get off into that here in a minute. I thought it was kind of strange, weird, and okay at the same time. Yeah, he had a cricket grill.
Yes. I just noticed right on the front. And as y'all saw, the front did tilted, but there's a reason for that, which we will get into when we get to the transformation. But taking a look at the front here, you just have some nice silver paint for the headlights here, and some more sculpted in detail here. And on the back, which just came untabbed. The back part on mine, I don't know if this is a widespread issue, but the back on mine doesn't really stay together that well on mine. It could be on my figure, but if any one of y'all had this issue where the back doesn't tap in, let me know in the comments section below. But on the back, you just have a lot of nice detail with no paint, well, except for this part here. And you do have like a spare tire on the back, which it is not picked out in paint and doesn't roll. And on the back you do have some ports on the back, which are meant for something. And on the top you just have a lot of blue and black. And on the bottom you don't really have a lot of robot mode kibble. Well, just a little bit. Maybe a little bit. And he does roll really well. And that is pretty much it. Now before we get into the transformation, he does come with an accessory that you can store, well, attach anywhere in his vehicle mode. He does come with another accessory, but that's for robot mode. But he does come with this nice translucent black gun here. And what you can do with this is you can attach it on this port here if you want to, or if you want to, you could kind of like plug them on the back using these two ports if you want to.
Yeah, it'd kind of be like an antenna.
Yeah.
I guess in that mode, if you want to use it for like that.
And that's all the ports that he has for his vehicle mode. But like I said, he does come with one more accessory, but that's meant for robot mode.
I have to say the colors on the vehicle mode looks really good. I think that the contrast in colors is really great. The darkish, what is that? A darkish bluish purple to a black, kinda.
No, it's just like a normal blue.
You think that's a normal blue? Okay. Okay. I have to say that I do like the way this guy Crankcase is presented in vehicle mode. He's got some pretty good looking colors that I think works really well with the vehicle mode. They're not bright. They're dark. They're dark and at the same time they're the two colors complement each other, I think, in this vehicle mode, and everything, even to the windows. They did a good job.
So I think that's about it for the vehicle mode. So now let's transform this guy. So to start off the transformation, first you want to take the front grill section and remove it entirely.
And that's what I'm saying, y'all. I've never seen that done on a transformer at all. So that was pretty unique.
From this port and that peg. And once you have this removed, if you want to, you can display it just like this without this. Because on the front it does have some more sculpted and painted in details. So if you want to, you can display it but like that without this, if you want to.
So in a way, he's got two front ends. I guess that's the way you could put it. He's got two front ends. One with grill, one without grill.
Yeah. But to start off the transformation, of course, remove the front grill. But take the side doors and untap them and flip them up. Then take the back wheels and fold them in so they look like this. Then take the back here and bring it all the way back. Then you're gonna take the back and untap it from the roof of the car from these two, this blue thing here, because it does tap in on the roof of the car. And once these are untapped, you do, if it hasn't done so already, separate them in half. These are going to form his legs. Now, come to the bottom and take these things, which are going to form his arms, and untap them. And then you're going to take his arms and the front wheels and pull them out so they look like this. And then take the, take the front of the car and the roof and windshields of the car and bring it down to about here, so that way you can take his legs and extend them down, which is where his waist is, and bring down his waist and tap it into place and bring down the legs. Flip these up so they look like this. Rotate his arms down so they look like this. Then take the windshield and the roof part and bring it up, and then take what will form his chest and bring it down, but you do need to make sure his robot mode head is not blocking it. Like that. And finally, take the back part and bring it up, and you could see these two clear tabs are going to go into some holes right here on both sides. And also, we're almost done. These two blue things on the back, which are his shoulder cannons, you do want to make sure that they're pointed down. Because in vehicle mode, they were pointed up, but for robot mode, you do want to make sure that they're pointed down, so that way they're facing forward. And there you have Crankcase in robot mode. And
I think there again, I think that the colors work really well. The head sculpt sticks out because it's the only part on him that is orange.
yes.
So that definitely makes the difference. You can definitely tell where his face is at. There's no doubt, because there's so much other blue and black on him with a little touch of gray. But the orange face really, that's what makes it stand out. Because the face just like, it's like, hello, I'm here, you know, while the rest of it's dark. So I kind of like it when they do that, because it's a different spin on the robot itself. When the whole robot looks one way, but you're not expecting the face to be a different color altogether. And it just makes it really stand out. You can tell that is Crankcase.
Yes.
By the way, the color of the face, which is way different, like I said, because normally you would expect the face to be gray or blue. Here, it's orange.
Yes.
And you can definitely tell that if your eyes go to one thing over the whole robot, the first thing it's going to go to is the face. Because the face color is out of place from the rest of the figure. So that's pretty neat, the way that they incorporated that, and I do like that.
And it is just like from the original G1 toy, because the G1 toy also had an orange face.
Yeah, it's different. It's different, definitely.
And as for the rest of the head sculpt, it is a really good head sculpt all around. And he does have some nice orange paint for his visor here, just like on the original toy. And he also does, as y'all saw in the transformation, have his little shoulder cannons, which are these two here. Because on this figure, he only has the cannons displayed in robot mode, not in vehicle mode on this figure. So you can only see them in one mode, not both modes, like you would with the original one. And going down to his chest, lots of nice silver paint, and with some teal paint on the chest. And the arms do have the same blue and black on him. Same thing for the legs, And while we're talking about the legs, from the front, the back, and the side, this side, they look pretty good. But on this side, there is not a lot, but there are some hollowness to it when you turn the legs this way. That's really my issue with this figure. But all around, he looks pretty good. Here's the side view. He does kind of have a backpack to him, but it doesn't weigh down the figure. And the back, and the other side, and all around, like I said, he looks pretty good, except for the legs, because they are kind of hollow. But for articulation, head is on a ball joint. Arms can rotate all the way around, move in and out, and if you want to, you can kind of have this joint to move if you want to. It is part of the transformation, but you can move it if you want to. Bicep swivel, elbow, wrist swivel, waist swivel, legs can move forward, back, in and out, thigh swivel, knee, and feet have an ankle pivot. And that's it.
Accessories.
Yes, I'm gonna get to them right now.
Okay. One of his accessories, the way that they made it and incorporated it into the vehicle mode plus the robot mode, I really love. And Colton's fixing to show that to you here in a minute.
Well, but before I get to that, this gun that I showed y'all from the vehicle mode, you can of course have him hold it in both hands if you want to. But this part here, which my dad told y'all, is gonna form his second weapon. And to convert this into his second weapon, all you do is just take this part, untap it, and flip it around, and you have his second weapon here. And on one side, it looks great, but on the other side, it's completely hollow. But you can still have him hold it on both sides, but both hands if you want to.
So it's kind of cheesy, but in a way it kind of works. You know, depending on how you position it. It's weird, I know. I've just never seen a grill turn into a gun. That just kind of that was kind of weird. That okay. This I've never seen before. It's different.
And you can attach these weapons on other ports in robot mode. Like, as y'all saw, on his elbows, he has 2 ports here, and you can still attach them on these ports, which were in vehicle mode, and also here if you want to have some weapon storage. And on the bottom of the feet, you too have some ports here, but I think these are only meant for if you want him to have like rocket feet, like he's flying, because these can't attach on the bottom of the feet. If you want to do that. And does the other one attach on the bottom? Yes, it does. Yes. It attaches on either this peg or this peg here. But they're only meant for, like, effect parts if you want him like he's flying around. And let me just get his weapons in his hands. And that is about it for Crankcase. So, I guess we'll get to our final thoughts. So, stay tuned for our final thoughts.